What if we wanted to visualize qualitative or categorical type data? So what type of graphs or plots would we use? So there are actually three different types that we're going to look at: the pie chart, the bar chart, and also a special type of bar chart is called a Pareto chart. And so we'll look at those three. The first one comes from, we have a data set that comes from complaints by train passengers. So here we can construct a pie chart, or at least show how it's constructed. The first column is the complaint, the type of complaint. So we have stations, etc., the train itself, performance equipment, personnel, schedules, etc. And the next column is the number of passengers that complained about each of those complaints, for a total of 70,000. Then the next column is the proportion. That's the same way we calculated the relative frequency. So take 28,000 divided by 70,000 gives 0.4. Same thing for the train, 14.7 thousand divided by 70,000 is 0.21, and so forth. So you get a total of 1 or 100%. We know that there are a total of 360 degrees in a circle, because a pie chart is a circular depiction of the data. And this is how we get the degrees. So how do we get the degrees for the stations? So what we do is we take 0.4, that's the proportion, and multiply that by 360, and that'll give you the degrees, 144 degrees. Same thing for the train. Take 0.21, multiply that by 360 degrees, gives you 75.6 degrees. And that is the slice, the size of the slice of the pie to which that complaint category should go. So again, we have categorical type data. The categories are the different types of complaints, and then they correspond to the number of passengers that are in each of those complaints. And this is the corresponding pie chart. So remember, 144 degrees was the stations, and that corresponds to the blue, and then so on and so forth. So that is how you get the depiction of the pie chart for the complaints by train passengers for this data set. Could also take the same data set if we wanted, and we could plot it into a bar chart like this. It could go, you could have the number of complaints in the first bar corresponding to the vertical axis with the height. Here is a bar chart. We would call this a special type of bar chart. This is a Pareto chart, where we have the bars are corresponding to the frequency. So the first bar corresponds to 40. Notice the bars don't touch each other. There's a space in between each one. So it's different than a histogram. Histograms are for quantitative type data only, whereas the Pareto chart and bar charts, they are for qualitative or categorical type data only. Okay, so a Pareto chart is a specific type of bar chart in that it displays the number of the most common types of defects in a company. And so this is from page 35 I've taken, and I've actually taken their plot, and you can compare this to the one on page 35 and the text, and it's from Electric Motor Company. And so the first one is poor wiring. It has the most, and it's always ranked in order. So the defect with the highest number, or the most occurrence, would be the first bar. Then the next one, so that would be poor wiring. The next one would be short, and then defective plug, and so forth. And then sometimes, not always, but sometimes there's a cumulative frequency. So the cumulative in this case is the percentage, or you could have the proportion, that also goes on the chart as well. So it's another way of visualizing. Again, this is qualitative or categorical type data. And so we have the pie chart, the bar chart, and the Pareto chart.